Hey guys, welcome to Fun and Studies. I'm Aprame, and today's science topic is nutrition in plants, the first chapter for class 7. So, our first subtopic, mode of nutrition. Plants prepare their own food themselves with the help of water, carbon dioxide, and minerals. Nutrients are necessary for growth, help in repairing damaged parts, and provide energy to the body. Nutrition is the mode of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body. It says that the plants prepare their own food with some materials, and this becomes the nutrients, and they help for growth, repairing damaged parts, and providing energy. And nutrition is the mode of taking food by an organism and how the body utilizes it. Next, there are two types of mode of nutrition: autotrophic and heterotrophic. Autotrophic, in which the organism prepare their own food themselves from simple substances. Example, plants. The plants prepare their own food with simple substances like water, carbon dioxide, uh, uh, in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. Next, heterotrophic. Animals and other organisms depend on ready made food prepared by the plants. So the plants prepare some food and they are autotrophs. And excess food is stored in some parts. And the heterotrophic, which are animals, humans, they take the plant part and eat it. So they use the nutrients prepared by the plants. Our next subtopic, photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which plants make food. In this, conversion of light energy into chemical energy takes place. So we have read it in energy chapter in class 6 or in class 5, uh, that the energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So it cannot be created, but it can change from one energy to another. Like we eat food and we take in chemical energy, and after that we work out hard and we convert that chemical energy into muscular energy. Process, how the photosynthesis, the process. In this process, carbon dioxide and water combine in the presence of light to form sugar and food. So this process is done in the presence of light, and it requires carbon dioxide and water and make sugar and food. Stomata are found in the layer of protective cells on the surface of the leaf. So there are some there are some um, organs. There are some parts of the plant that are found in the layers of protective cells on the surface of the leaf. This is known as stomata. Gases move in and out of stomata. So, what is the use of the stomata? The gases come inside the plant from the leaf, from the stomata, and they go out from the stomata. These opening connect to large air spaces in the middle layer of the leaf. So, if you see the surface of the leaf, there is a mid vein and many veins. So, these stomatas are connected to the veins, and all these veins connect to the mid vein. So, this uh, is the middle layer of the leaf. Carbon dioxide in the middle layer of the leaf is available to the food making cells of the leaf. So we learned it that the leaves are the food factories of plants. So they are the carbon dioxide is provided to these cells. Xylem is the xylem in the vein carries water to the food making cells. So there is another part in the vein itself known as xylem, which carries water to the food making cells. We will learn it in the higher classes, the xylem, phloem, etc. So they carry water to the food making cells. The water comes from the roots and root hairs, which are the ground. The water is taken into the plants from the leaves, and root hairs absorb it from the ground. The leaves have green pigment called chlorophyll. So there is a green colored pigment called chlorophyll. So the leaf is mostly green. It helps the leaves to capture energy of sunlight. So it is a green pigment that helps to capture the energy and sunlight. This energy of the sunlight is used to synthesize food from carbon dioxide and water. So this energy reacts with uh, the food to food from carbon dioxide and water. So the carbon dioxide, water, and the energy react and form the food. We will learn in the coming chapters like acids and bases react with each other and forms also. This is a kind of example, but this is not a example. The desert plants have scale or spine-like leaves to reduce loss of water by transpiration. So transpiration, we will learn it in geography and in the science. Uh, it is the loss of water by leaves. So from this stomata, when the water is uh, excess, they cannot use this excess water. They have to throw it out in some way. So this water is stored in the leaves, and due to the heating effect, the water becomes water vapor and it evaporates. These plants are green stems which carry out photosynthesis. So, how flat it will be, the more transpiration can happen. So, the desert plants have spine-like leaves. They are small, so that the transpiration will be less. These plants are green stems which carry out photosynthesis. So, now the leaves are turned into spines. Then how can they live? They cannot do photosynthesis. So they have green stems which do the photosynthesis. Now other modes. Some plants depend on food produced by other plants because they do not have chlorophyll. So as humans and animals depend on plants, there are some other plants which depend on other plants because they do not have chlorophyll. So we need chlorophyll. So I'll just give you some more uh, information. Even if we are provided chlorophyll, water, and we are standing in sunlight, uh, then can we still make food like the plants? No, obviously no. Why? You may think we have all. We are even provided with carbon dioxide. Now, why can't we do? So most of your answers will. Most of you might not know, but this is due to the structure. We do not have a structure known as chloroplast. So we cannot do the photosynthesis. Amarbel is a small parasitic plant which contains no chlorophyll. They climb on other plants which act as host, and they take ready-made food from the plant. They stay on other plants which make food, and these plants which allow the this parasitic plants to live on them are known as host. There are few plants which are insectivorous. So there are we heard of plants making food. We heard of an animals eating plants and animals eating animals and animals eating both, but we did not hear that plants eat animals. So there are insectivorous plants which trap insects and digest them. Example is sundew, pitcher, etc. Next topic, saprotroph. Saprotroph is an organism that obtains its nutrients from dead and decaying matter. So here we have the parasitic plant which lives on the host. And if we give the animal examples or insect examples, we will give the example of lice and mosquito. So the mosquito takes the blood from the humans, even if the humans are living. There are some special organisms known as saprotrophs, which have another specific thing. They specifically need dead and decaying matter. So fungi, mushrooms, you may know this is fungi. The flying secrete the fungi secrete digestive juices on dead and decaying matter and convert it into solution. They absorb the nutrients from it. Fungi also grow on pickles, leather clothes, and other articles that are left in hot and humid weather for a long time. Some organisms live together and share shelter and nutrients. These are called symbiotic relationship. For example, a certain fungi live in the roots of trees. So there is a specific fungi. It is really a bacterium. It is a rhizobium. It lives on the roots of trees, and these trees uh, cannot take the nitrogen and some other specific nutrients, or it cannot take the water and nutrients from the soil. So rhizobium and other fungi give what is required to the tree, and the tree provides what is required to the fungus, the shelter and food. Next, replenished, nutrients replenished. So uh, if the plants make food and animals eat it and plants eat it and some bacteria eats it, the plant food is completed. Now if like that all plants food is eaten by animals and humans and bacteria and other kind of animals like saprotrophs, then the food is completed. We do not have another other food. So if the nutrients are replenished, or if they're again provided to the plant again makes food and we eat that food. So how can it be replenished? By fertilizers and by nitrogen. Fertilizers and other manuals which are rich in nutrients are added by farmers to enrich the soil and fulfill the nutrients requirement for plants. So there are farmers, they use fertilizers. Why do they use it? For replenishment of nutrients and nitrogen. Next, nitrogen. After harvesting, soil becomes deficient in nitrogen. So the plant uses up the nitrogen. The plant uses the nitrogen. This gas is present in the air, but plants require it in soluble form. So a bacterium called rhizobium. So I told rhizobium take the atmospheric nitrogen, means the nitrogen from the air, and convert it into soluble form and give it to the plants. But the rhizobium cannot make its own food, so it lives on the root of gram, peas, mung beans, and other legumes. So legumes, um, in the legumes, if you check the roots, they are in tubular structure. I'll just share it. Yes, this. So here we have the leguminous root, and now I'll just present. So it lives in the roots, and this shows symbiotic relationship, which we learned before. Next, so we completed the chapter. We will just revise some concepts. Treasure. Nutrition is the mode of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body. So how the organism takes its food and how its body utilizes it, means how its body uses it, is nutrition. Photosynthesis, the formation of carbohydrates by plants from carbon dioxide and water in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight, is called photosynthesis. So uh, we need sunlight, water, carbon dioxide in the presence of chlorophyll to make the carbohydrates or the food or the nutrients. Its formula is 12H2O plus 6 O2 molecules, means 12 water molecules plus 6 oxygen molecules. In the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight, they form 6 water molecules plus 6 oxygen molecule. This is CO2, not O2. Plus glucose. I'll just change it. It is not O2, it is CO2. 6 CO2 molecules, they form chlorophyll and sunlight. In the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight, they form 6 water molecules plus 6 oxygen molecules plus glucose. Saprotrophs, the organisms which take in nutrients in solution from in solution form from dead and decaying matter are called saprotrophs. So they have specific conditions. They need dead and decaying matter. Then only they will they can take the nutrients. Types of nutrition: autotrophic nutrition, in which organism prepare their own food, and heterotrophic nutrition, in which organism depend on plants for food. And at last, we have the glossary or the hard words. Insectivorous plants. Plants that can capture and digest live prey to obtain nitrogen compounds that are lacking in its usual marshy habitat are called insectivorous plants. Nitrogen fixation. It is a process by which nitrogen is taken from its neutral relative in a molecular form in the atmosphere and convert it into nitrogen compounds such as ammonia, nitrate, and nitrogen dioxide. Nutrients. The components of food which are necessary for our body are called nutrients. Parasite, the organism that derive nutrition from living host without performing it in any way, is called parasite. Thank you for watching so patiently. Thank you.